your whole business, your whole business model, business plan revolves not around you, not around your concept. It runs strictly on your customers or your clients or your clientele or whoever you're selling to or whoever you're servicing to. Those are your business people. That's your business. If you don't have any customers, you don't have a business. That's what kind of reviewing. And then understand that once you have that first customer, you're officially in business. Now, it doesn't mean you have to have a, an EIN number. Doesn't mean you have to have a website. Doesn't mean you have to have even a product. Once you have that first customer, you're officially in business. That's what it takes. Just start that first customer. Understand, get that first customer, you're officially in business. Now, what you do for that customer or how you service that customer dictates on how long you're going to be in business or how successful your business is going to be. Because that first customer dictates on how well your business is running, meaning like if you have the service or the product to provide to them, or even if you do that, have that service or product to give to them, is it good enough for them to return to you? It's that simple. If you are always thinking, I need the next customer, next customer, you're never going to focus on the customer that you have in hand. So if you have a restaurant right now, well, probably most likely not, but just an example, if you have a customer in your seat and you're serving them food, what you need to focus on is that customer that's in your seat that's willing to pay you right there. Don't focus on the next customer. Don't focus on the marketing yet. Focus on servicing that customer in front of you and giving them the best food possible, giving them the best products possible. That's what you really focus on if you want to be a successful business owner, is focus on the customer that you have in hand, the customer that you already have. So now, once you do have that customer, you service them well, meaning product or service. Now it's all about how good of that service or product was it. Are they willing to come back to you? Are they willing to give you a reference? Are they willing to give you a review online? Hopefully a good review. That's what it comes down to. If you have a customer and you service them well and they give you a good enough review, you're going to be in a great model for a great business in the future. Now, if you understand this, you can get one customer, you can get 10 customers. You can get 10 customers, you can get 1,000 customers, you can get 100,000 customers, 1 billion customers. But it really comes down to that first one, that first customer that's really most important. Now, like I said, we're just reviewing kind of a little bit of what we talked about the previous couple of weeks, and now we can get into the new stuff. Now, what I really want to focus on also is understand that any business that you're getting into, whatever business it is, you have to make sure it's a long-term business. You need to make sure that it's going to be around for a long time. Meaning it cannot be a fickle business, cannot be an overnight business, cannot be a business that's going to be in and out within a year or so. You want a business that can last 4 or 5 years, 10 years, 50 years. You have to understand that if you're going to put in that time and effort, you might as well put in something that's going to last a long term. Understand that if you have a business and it's only going to last a year, every single year you're going to have to come up with a new business idea. You're going to have to come up with new concepts, new products, new services. You don't want to do that. You don't want to waste time. So the first time you want to focus on, that's why it takes time to think and focus on how long and how big can this business become. If my business can only last a year, I only have that year to make that money. But if my business can last 100 years, then I have more time to make more money. It's that simple. So understand, is my business going to be a long-term business or a short-term business? And I want to focus on long-term businesses. And the question is this business going to be around next 50 years, next 100 years? Is make sure that people are not going to take over in terms of the internet or other businesses are going to take over for you. You have to make sure that this business that you're starting is going to be around for a long time. That's very important. Now let's get into kind of the new stuff that I really want to talk about today, which was if you're starting a business, whatever business you're starting, it's only going to do 2 things. Like I said, it's either a product or service. Simple as that. If it's a product you're starting, let's say you're selling blankets or whatever product you're selling, you need to understand a couple things. You need to understand, and this comes down to even a service business, but this really comes down to more important to the product business. What's the life cycle of this product? Meaning, what's the life cycle of when I sell this burger? What's the life cycle? Meaning, it's going to be a short time. This person's going to eat it and it's going to be gone. So that's a short-term life cycle for a product. So if I'm selling cups, how long is that person going to need another cup in the future? If you sell a cup, most likely they're not going to need another cup in a long time. If they buy a cell phone, most likely they're not going to need that cell phone for a long time. So that's a long-term life cycle, meaning that person's going to have that product for a long time. So that what comes down to as a business owner is meaning I'm going to have to get more leads to sell more of that long-term life cycle product. So you need to understand that. So whatever product or service, you have to think about the life cycle. The life cycle is how long is this customer going to use this product, or how long are they going to need between the first time they purchase it and the next time they purchase it. That's the life cycle of the product or service. You need to really understand this as a business owner, especially if you want to be successful. If you want to be successful, what you want is you want a product or service that's needed almost on a daily basis. On a daily basis. That's ideal for any business that's starting out, especially from zero. You want a short-term life cycle because you want the customer to come back again and again and again over a long period of time. So hopefully you can draw on those profits. So understand that. So let's say, like I said, like last time I gave an example of a barber. So a barber life cycle most likely is about 2 to 4 weeks, or even, women who do dye their hair or do perms or do weaves, their life cycle for that hair is usually, or a haircut is usually 2 to 4 weeks. So every 2 to 4 weeks, that barber should have that customer come back into the salon or barber shop and get a new haircut. So the life cycle for that haircut is about 2 to 4 weeks. That's how you should think about. So whatever product, whatever service or product you're providing, you need to understand the life cycle of it. This is very important because this will dictate on how profitable your business is. So if the person comes and only buys our products once, it's going to be hard for you to keep having new customers come in and buy that product once. But if you have a customer that buys a product every single day or every single week or every single 2 weeks, you have a great chance of repeat customers. And obviously, every customer has to come back more frequently, and you have a great chance for more success. So understand that the product's life cycle or the service life cycle is very, very important to be successful. Now, you also have to understand that if you have a product or service, and whatever business you're starting, whatever product or service, if it's, let's say, I want to teach scuba diving, the market has to want scuba diving lessons. If you live in a place where it's landlocked and there's no ocean, there's no places to teach scuba diving, that's going to be a terrible business to start. It's that simple. I mean, it's not genius here. Is the market willing to pay for the product or service that you're providing? If it's not, then most likely it's going to be a bad or a failing business. No matter how much you like it or how much you're a pro at it, it doesn't matter because the market does not want that product or does not need that product in that area. You might need to move to a different area like Florida or California where there's water and you could teach scuba diving. But otherwise, if you're in a landlocked place and you want to teach scuba diving, it's going to be, your time is being wasted and your product or service that you're providing is not going to be successful. It's that simple. So make sure that the market that you're going to go after needs or wants that product. I'll talk about a little bit about that later also, but understand that whatever you're going after, that's why it's very important. The first rule is to learn, observe, and see what people want and use. It's very important because that's what's going to dictate on what product or service you provide. So understand that those things really make or break a business. Understand that the customer is the business. The customer is always the business. It's not you. It's not what you like. It's not what you care about. It's what the customer likes. It's what the customer cares about. It's what the customer is willing to take money out of their pocket and pay you for. That's where your business is. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. Doesn't matter if you enjoy it or not. Doesn't matter if you think it's stupid or not. What matters is the customer willing to take the money out of their pocket and give it to you for that product or service. That's how you become a successful business owner. Now, people last time asked me questions about, what if I want to do, I'm a wedding planner or, I do makeup. These kind of services, these are very, very infrequent services. So you need to understand that this business is not going to be a long-term successful business unless you do it for a long time or you have a large clientele. Because how often do people need to get makeup done? Usually weddings or private parties or something like that. So that business is going to be very, very infrequent. If you're a wedding planner, how often do people get married? And how often, how many people do get married a year? The numbers are not that high. So you need to make sure that whatever business you're getting into, it's not that infrequent business where it's not done on a daily basis, or it's not done that, people are only doing it once a year or once a lifetime, because you can only make so much money off one person or one customer. You can't overcharge, otherwise you won't get that customer. So understand those kind of businesses are very, very dangerous to get into. So if you're a planner, business consultant or whatever, understand your business is very, very limited in terms of clientele, and then also it's very limited in terms of what you could charge, because there's so many others also. If you're a wedding planner and charge $50,000 and the person does not want to pay $50,000, they're going to find somebody who charges $25,000. There goes your business right there. So understand that every business that you're getting into, make sure it's not one of those businesses that just it's a once a year or once in a lifetime businesses. You want to make sure it's a daily type of business that can be used on a weekly basis, monthly basis, even bi-monthly basis, but make sure it's understandable that people want to use that business or use that service on a daily basis or weekly basis. Now, and guys, if you have questions, I got some new people coming in. If you have questions, put them in the chat box, and that way I can get to you, especially if you have questions on business that you want to start, ideas and concepts. This is what I'm going to really discuss right now. If you have an idea or a concept for a business right now, first of all, like I said, you want to do research and learn about and observe what people are buying and looking to purchase. You definitely want to get into that first of all. But the biggest thing is understanding who is your customer. This is one of the most important parts. Who is your customer? Who is buying it? Is this product for teens? Is this for elderly? Is this for middle age? Is this for people who are married? Is this people for single? Is this people who's the ideal customer that you're selling to? This is one of the most important parts. If you understand the customer you're buying or you're selling to, you'll always have a great chance of having successful business. You'll always have a great chance because you know exactly who wants this product and who needs it. All right. Second is what are you selling? Are you familiar with that product? Is it a product that people want? What is that product that you're selling? And the way you can make sure that this product, people want this product, is ask yourself this question. What problem am I solving with my service or my product? This is the question you ask yourself every single time if you're starting a business. What problem am I solving for a customer or for a client with my product or service? If it's a dirty house, I'm solving that problem by cleaning that house. If I'm starting a business of lawn care, I'm taking care of all homeowners. That's my customer. So understand that every single time you want to start a business, you have to understand that what problem or what solution am I providing for my customer. If you're not doing any of those things, you're just being greedy, meaning that you're not gonna have a successful business because you're thinking about yourself. You have to think about the customer. You always have to think about the customer, what the customer wants and what they need. So third thing. So first is who are we selling it to? Second of all, what are we selling to them? And are we solving a problem for them? Third thing is, where are we selling this? Are we selling it online? Are we selling it door to door? Are we selling it, in person? I mean, right now it's gonna be tough because obviously the stuff that's going on, but make sure you know where you're selling these products or where you're selling the services. That's very important also, because if you don't know where the customer is or where you're gonna sell these products, it doesn't matter what business or what product you have, you can't get to the customer. So you have to understand where the customer is. Fourth thing here, if you're writing these down, so it's who am I selling it to? What am I selling to them? Where are the customers, or where am I getting the products from? And now is one of the most important things is, why am I selling this product or service? Why am I selling this? This comes back down to that question of what problem or solution am I providing for my customer? So if I'm providing a solution of fixing, cell phones, then I have to find out, okay, the problem I'm solving is I'm fixing every cracked screen on every cell phone. That is why I'm starting this business. This is why people want to come to my business. This is why people are willing to take money out of their pocket, because they see a cracked screen in their phone and they want to fix that problem, and I'm that solution. Understand, I'm solving a problem for them. It doesn't matter if they like me or not. It doesn't matter if I'm mobile or not. What matters is, am I solving that problem for them? Am I solving that fixed screen for them? And once I do that, I have a customer. And once I satisfy that customer well enough, hopefully they bring in more customers for me. But understand that that's what's the most important parts when you're starting a business is, why is the customer coming to me? What problem am I solving for them? If I can do that consistently, I'll have a chance to be a very successful business. So ask yourself those questions. Who is my customer? Where are my customers? What am I selling to my customers? And why are they buying this from me? Or why am I going to them to what problem am I solving for them? And now, once you understand those things, you'll actually have a chance to actually have a successful business. So make sure you understand all those parts. And if you have to, make sure you write them down, write them down. Don't just have them in your head, write them down and really fully explain to yourself why this person's coming to you and why they're willing to give you the money in their pocket. It's very hard to get somebody to pay you. It's very, very hard. It's very hard to be successful in any business. But if you do these, if you follow these steps of who am I selling to, what am I selling to them, where are the customers, and why, one of the most important, why are they buying it from me, then you have a great chance to be successful. Now, this part right here is kind of the part that dictates on how successful you are in terms of a business. Any business you're starting is called market demand. Market demand. If you're solving a problem, you have to find out how big is that problem that I'm solving. Right now, for my business, I'm trying to solve, I don't know if I can solve it, all of it, but affordable housing. Affordable housing, meaning that people can't afford the high rents that are out right now. So in my area, rents are very, very high. So what I focus on is the people below that, meaning people that can't afford the high expensive rents. And I get to the people that can afford the affordable rents, the $1,200 to $1,000 a month. That's affordable. $1,600 to $2,000 is too high for people. So I focus on affordable housing, which means my market demand is large. It's the largest amount possible because there's more people that can afford than the people that can't afford. So understand that I'm focusing on a large problem, which means affordable housing. So whatever problem or service or product you're coming out with for your business, make sure there's a market demand for it, and make sure there's a large enough market demand for it. If there's not, then you're dealing with such a small amount of people, it's going to be hard to find customers. But if you have a high demand of people, a high demand of customers, you have a high chance of meeting more customers, selling more product or services, and then also being more successful because you have such a high pool of people. So understand that market demand is vital for your business to be successful. It's one of the most vital things. It doesn't matter if I build the greatest machine possible, but if there's no demand for it, I'll never sell it. You know, you have to think back in terms of, let's say, the fax machine. The fax machine, when it first came out, there was no demand for it because other people did not have fax machines. So if you had a fax number, you had to find other customers or other businesses that had faxes in order to send a fax. But once everyone had fax numbers and fax machines, the demand increased because everyone, hey, send me a fax. Oh, I don't have a fax machine. I have to go get the fax. Now there's demand for it. But if whatever product you're starting out with, make sure there's a demand for it. Make sure that people want it. Make sure that the people are out there that are going to buy it. So let me give you a couple examples. One of my friends in high school, we were both about to go to college. He went to Northeastern. I went to a different way. And he started Northeastern and dropped out. The reason he dropped out was because he wanted to become a plumber. Now, he knew that there's a high demand of plumbers, short demand of plumbers out there. So he knew that there's going to be a high demand of people needing plumbers, certified plumbers. So he became a plumber right out of high school. Now, was this a great decision? I'm not sure. I'll tell you the story. But for him, he knew, and this was at an early age, he knew that the demand for plumbing or plumbing skills was high. People need plumbers all the time, from toilets to installing new kitchens to bathrooms, and he knew he was going to make a decent living. I talked to him a couple of days ago. This guy's worth at least $2.5 million now. Now he has his own business. He has about 6 or 7 people working for him. He doesn't do any plumbing anymore. Now, it took him 8 years to become a successful, business owner, but he understood the demand. He understood that the market demand for plumbing is high, and he knew it doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't matter if I'm in Italy, Cape Cod, Florida, California, the demand is always going to be there for plumbers. So he started a plumbing business, and he became a millionaire. I can give you so many examples. Another friend of mine, from middle school. I talked to him a couple of days ago. He moved down to Texas. He always loved food, always loved barbecue. He Actually, I met him through when I was trying to do trucking driving, and he were down there both trying to become truckers. I didn't obviously become a trucker, but he became a trucker, and he did it for 2 years, saved his money, and what he did was he bought a piece of land in Texas. I remember exactly the place too. It's called Waxahachie, Texas. He bought a piece of land, I think about a half an acre for $8,900. $8,900. He bought half acre. What he did, and it was right next to the highway. What he did was he knew, because he's driven that highway multiple times, he knew that the demand for food on that highway was low. I'm sorry, the demand was high. So he knew that if he put a barbecue shack right at the right corner, he knew that the people would stop by and buy his food. Now the guy's a multi-millionaire with branches everywhere and all around Texas, in Austin and Dallas, all from an idea of understanding market demand. He knew that people needed the food, good food, and now he's a multi-millionaire by just starting a barbecue shack on a half acre. Understand that market demand makes or breaks your business. So if you're starting a flower shop, if you're starting whatever kind of business or whatever, selling clothes, is there a demand for it? And the demand is pretty much the customers. Is there customers willing to pay you for that product or service? If they're not, it doesn't matter how pretty the product is, doesn't matter how nice you think it is, it's not going to sell. You're going to be out of business within a year, less than a year, matter of fact. So understand that. Understand that when it comes to business, you have to put your ego aside. You have to put your ego aside. Your ego will kill you, actually will destroy your business. When I first started my couple businesses, I had a big ego. I thought, this is the product people want, or this is the product I want, and I'm going to sell it to people. I sold zero. Second business, this is the product people want. I think this is what they need. I sold zero until I sat down and said, listen, forget what I want. What does the customer want? What does the customer need? Okay, customers need financial education. I started providing financial education. People need courses on building their credit. I started building courses on credit. People need courses on understanding how to buy their first properties. I did courses on how to buy first properties. That's when the business started being successful. People need affordable housing. I started getting properties at affordable housing. People need, learning how to take care of their bodies in terms of health, in terms of fitness. I went and got my personal training license and started teaching people how to take care of the bodies and take care of nutrition. Understand that everybody that has a business idea, everyone has a business idea. I don't care. It could be the mailman down the street, could be the guy fixing your electrical. It could be anybody. Everyone has a business idea. It doesn't mean anything. Your idea is worthless until you find a customer who's willing to pay you. Understand that your ideas are worthless until you find somebody willing to pay you even $1 out of their pocket to provide that service or product. So understand, you have to leave your ego aside. I'm going to give you another example here on where the ego really kills businesses. A gentleman who started Waste Management, which is the trucking company that picks up trash and picks up recycling, started with just one truck. He started with one truck in his neighborhood picking up trash, and then got 2 trucks, and 3 trucks, and 4 trucks. Did he love trash? No, he did not love trash. Who likes trash? But he saw a business idea. He saw a market demand for it. He saw people with piles of trash and junk, started removing it from people's yards and started making money. Now, Waste Management is a national brand. It's worth $41.49 billion. Now, was that idea came from him? No, he just saw a market demand for people needing their trash removed, and he built a $41.49 billion company. He actually ended up selling that company and started Blockbuster. It's the same guy who started Waste Management, started Blockbuster. Now, Blockbuster became a national chain with stores everywhere. Now, with success, obviously people get an ego. Like I said, remember, business is not about ego. Business is about the customer. Business is about getting money from the customer. So with his ego, Netflix came to him and said, listen, we started this business. Would you be interested? Because Blockbuster was one of the largest video rental companies in the world. And Netflix came to him And he said, no, no one's going to want to rent movies online. Redbox came to him also and said, listen, we have this idea of we could put, kiosks outside of stores and rent DVDs. He actually X'd that also. He said, no one's going to want to go to, a kiosk. They don't trust that. And guess what? What happened? His ego came into play and lost him billions of dollars, because now Blockbuster does not exist. Netflix now is worth $191 billion, because those guys understood that, listen, doesn't matter if Blockbuster exists. This guy wants to have an ego. That's fine. His ego introduced his downfall, because now Blockbuster does not exist and Netflix is worth almost triple of what Waste Management started is worth right now. So understand that every time you have an ego, you need to crush that ego and say, it's not about me, it's about the customer. It's about the customer. Every business is about the customer. Every time you think about, am I going to like this? No, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. It's about the customer. What does the customer want? What does the customer need? What does the customer buy on a consistent basis? Right now, if you're trying to sell a product, you should be selling sanitizers. You should be selling gloves. You should be selling face masks, because these things have a short life cycle, meaning they use maybe once or twice and then thrown out, and they're going to need more. So this is a product that you could use to be consistently making money off of, because people consistently need to use it and consistently need to buy it, from hospitals to clinics to doctors' offices to every store in this world right now needs face masks. So if you get access to a face mask provider or manufacturer, you can make a lot of money right now. Just an idea for you guys. So understand that this episode is really about the ego. Take your ego out of it, put it aside, and say, what does the customer want? What does the customer need? What is the customer willing to buy? And what are they willing to get out of their pocket and give me money for? If you can answer that question consistently, you can make a lot of money as a business owner. All right. So guys, that's what I really want to focus on. My time's almost running out. I have about 7 minutes left here on Zoom because I have the free product here. Guys, if you have questions, write them in the chat box so we can get to them quickly. Or you can unmute yourself and just ask a question. And if you have any questions, please ask. That way we can help each other out, because some people might have the same question, and there's no such thing as a stupid question. So if you have a question, please unmute yourself or write it in the chat box, and I'll try to get to it as quick as I can. Any questions? Any questions here? Anybody have any ideas in terms of businesses they want to start, they need some consulting with, or maybe some concepts I could help them with? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. If you have questions, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Ask away. Anybody, any questions? Any questions would be great. I don't see any questions coming out, so I'm going to try to end it right here then, because like I said, we only have a limited amount of time. Otherwise, Zoom wants me to upgrade to pro level, which I'm not going to do. So guys, we're here, like I said, every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Guys, if you have questions, like I said, for business ideas or concepts, reach out to me. I'm here every time to help. I'm not selling anything. I'm not providing anything in terms of trying to get money out of you guys. I'm trying to provide just knowledge, pretty much. I'm trying to help people, especially people who don't have a job, and I want them to think like entrepreneurs. I want you to think like business owners. That's why I provide this information. So guys, I'll see you next Wednesday, 10 a.m. Tell people about it. If you have some other people who might be interested, tell them. And I also have these episodes recorded, and I'll eventually have them on YouTube, and I'll let you guys know when they come back on YouTube. All right? So guys, if you have any questions, write them down for next time. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next Wednesday.